This is how the raids began before dawn. Anti-terror police moving in to search more than 100 properties and apprehend dozens of suspects. Among them this woman, Birgit Malzack-Winkermann. She is currently a judge in Berlin, but until 2 years ago she was a far-right member of parliament who would regularly criticize the then government of Angela Merkel. Now she is suspected of plotting to overthrow its successor.
This group is set up into a kind of council, which is supposed to be a kind of government organization, which was split up into different departments, just like the cabinet of a country. Several individuals were already earmarked to take over different ministries.
Some of those arrested had access to firearms, and the authorities believe they were prepared to kill to achieve their aims.
The alternative government this plot would have created would have had in its ranks an apparently eminent doctor, a serving judge, a current member of one of Germany's elite military units, a former police officer, and others. Federal investigators believe the group tried to make contact with Russian officials to see if they would help in the event of a successful coup. A Kremlin spokesman denied any Russian involvement.
In Berlin, questions have been asked about how people in high positions in public life could become involved in such an alleged plot.
Our goal was to deal differently with enemies of the Constitution who work in the public sector. That's why I'll present my draft law on changing disciplinary action in the coming days, so that we can remove enemies of the Constitution more quickly.
The Reichsbürger movement is not new in Germany. At its heart, it believes in the rejection of the modern state.
They wish to return to Germany's old borders. They do not recognize the German state, German democracy, and think that Germany is not a sovereign state. It goes so far that there are parts of this movement that want to violently overthrow the government.
And the focus for that wish is here, the federal parliament, or Bundestag. It was once called the Reichstag, back in the time of the Kaisers. In 2020, hundreds of far-right activists tried to storm the building during an anti-lockdown demonstration, but failed. Stopping that action involved a few hundred police forming a cordon around it. Stopping this alleged coup d'etat has involved thousands more officers operating right across the country. Dominic, Kane, Jazeera, Berlin.